Hi guys, so I will be showing you guys how to configure a DHCP relay so that we can get dynamic IP addresses onto these other networks. For example, the sales department or the HR department. Okay, let's get started. First thing you need to do is, this is after you configured and give IPs to the router. For example, we can check here. We can go to this router interfaces. As you can see, I have given them all different IPs and they're all configured. So let me show you how to do the DHCP relay. First thing we need to do is, again, after configuring everything and assigning the static IP address for your DHCP, as you can see here, this is on the 192.168.5 network, and I have given it a static DHCP address. Next thing you need to do is, I'm gonna move this just a little bit here. Next thing you need to do is figure out the default gateway of the network. First, we're gonna deal with the sales department. So the default gateway of that department is 192.168.1.1. So we'd go to services under DHCP. We would, as you can see here, I have already made it. You would need to make a pool. I named it sales, just like down here, and I put the default gateway right here of this network right here. First, we're targeting this network, this department. So I put the default gateway of that. The DNS server, you can have your own DNS server, or you can use the Google server, as you can see here. And then the starting IP, I started it at 5 because I want to leave a few for this network, for this area here, and I have allowed up to 50 addresses for this department. And then you would hit add. Obviously mine is there, so you would add and it will come down here. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna close this, and we would need to go to the router for that department, or that network, sorry. Then we would go to open up the CLI, and then we would let me see if I can show you down here. We would like I said, I've already configured it, so let me just show you. It's not a big deal. Okay, we would go and see first the interface of this down here. So it's on the gig 0/0. We would go back inside and we would put interface gig 0/0, and then we would, now we need to get the IP helper address. So you would need to type IP helper, then address, just like this. And now here we would need to put the address for the DHCP, so that every time one of these computers ask for a DHCP, for the DHCP to give it a dynamic IP address, that this router goes and, that has the DHCP IP address. So again, so we will put IP helper address, and then the DHCP address, so 192.168.5.2, which is the address of this DHCP down here. And then you would press enter, and everything is all set. So now if I close this and I go to this computer, and I would go to desktop IP configuration, As you can see, since I already set it up, it's here, but I can do it again. I can click here, and as you can see, now this router is allowing these computers to get IP addresses from the DHCP that is on this router's network. It's on a different network. So yeah, so I can show you the same thing to this router. We can go back to the DHCP, and we would go to the services, DHCP. We need to make a pull for the HR. So now, if you can see here, this is the default gateway. I put HR, that's the name. The default gateway is down here. Again, I'm using the Google's DNS server. And here, we would need to start this one too. Also, we'll keep a couple. We'll start it at 5. And I gave it 50 maximum addresses. And then you would add. And the next thing you would do is go to this router. Again, same thing that we did with the other one. Oh, this one is not enabled, so we would enable the router, and then we would do the config. There it is. We would need to check the connection. This is on the gig 00. So we'd go back here. We would do the interface gig 0/0. We would put enter, and then we would do the IP again. Remember that we're going to use the DHCP address, so we'll do IP helper dash address, and then the address for the DHCP. So it would be the 5.2 192.168.5.2, enter, and then you're all set. So when you go to these laptops, any of them, you would go to desktop, IP config, and you can see, because I already had it, but I can show you again, static, go back to DHCP, and you will see that the DHCP is given the address to this laptop. So now both of these networks here, this department and this department that are on a different subnet, different network, can get their IP address from this DHCP that's on this network. That is it. Comment below if you have any other questions, or if I'm not doing a good job explaining, so that I could do a better job. Thank you, and please follow my channel. Thanks.